This is what the Detroit Lions do. They come into your house, they kick in the front door, they kick in the crib, and they sit you down and they say, hey, it's going to be a long day. They take your fans out of the equation, and then they execute football. Even with the Texans game, they did it in the second half. This is what the Lions do. I love the analogy. You got me fired up thinking about wrestling back in the day.
Here you go, boys.
Oh, there you go, the Road Warriors.
Paul Ellering.
And then they had to go to LOD when they went to WWF. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's right.
I just found out we're getting Kenny Albert this week.
Kenny Albert. Well, it's your favorite, Maz. It's your NFC-AFC matchup.
There it is.
The
Kenny Albert.
NFC games always, the cross-conference games always.
They gross me out.
They stink.
Why do they gross you out so much?
Just don't like the AFC.
It's no
I like
groove.
my league.
It just seems like no rhythm, like no groove.
It's my league. Give me my NFC, and that's the end of it.
I got you.
You know, one of the reasons the Lions have been better on the road this year, great on the road, unbeaten on the road, is because defense travels. And part of that defense is first-round pick Terrion Arnold. Here's what Terrion Arnold says about the competitiveness that he's added to this team.
Pretty good about putting things behind him, negative plays behind him, going to the next one, and you have to be able to do that at the cornerback position. You know, I think he can put it back, go to the next play, learn from what just happened, and continue to play. I mean, that's what we talk about all the time, man. Just go in there and compete again. Compete for the next play, and he's done that. You know, and for a young guy, that's important. Quarterback and cornerback, you have to be able to do that, probably more so than any of the positions. So, yeah, look, he's getting better and better every week.
That's Dan Campbell talking about Terrion Arnold, just the attitude that he's brought to this offense.
Shout out to Megatron walking by right now. See you over there, Calvin. You know who leads the league right now? He's looking here.
Hey.
Number 2 in the league right now in man-to-man coverage snaps is Carlton Davis II. You know who's number 1?
Who?
Terrion Arnold is number 1 in the league right now in man-to-man snaps. There is a reason why Dan Campbell and these guys went out and got Terrion Arnold out of Alabama is because they wanted to use him in man-to-man. They trust him. They know he has no problem being matched up one-on-one. He know he doesn't have a problem in man. When you play defense like Aaron Glenn is playing right now, you got to have a man cover corners. You got 2 of them. So shout out to Terrion Arnold. We haven't heard his name a lot in the last 6 games, which is good. He's playing man-to-man coverage snaps, and he's getting it done.
He is a talker, too. I love it. I mean, this kid is like a vintage pro already. We're 11 games into the season, 10 games into the season, and he is just showing out. And Dan Campbell's been on his wagon since the beginning of the season. When he was getting flags thrown at him, Dan's like, I'm not worried about that kid. I'm not worried about Terrion. And it shows. The guy puts these coach staff, they coach these guys up so well and put the confidence in them. And they tell them, look, go out and play your game. I don't care about the flag. Go out and play your game. They're going to teach him how to get that flag because Aaron Glenn was one of the better guys back in the day, how to play in the secondary. So there you have it, man. That's why these kids can go out and they play with, my favorite line, they play with house money.
No, real talk, like Maz, the reason why, you're absolutely correct, the reason why Dan Campbell gives him that trust is aggressive, good defensive corners. It just takes him a second to get used to the next level. Like, he was where he wanted to be at Alabama. When I was in New York, I was playing with Darrell Reeves and I was playing with Antonio Cromartie. These guys, very physical, very aggressive. A lot of flags could be called, but they legitimately, they push the edge. They push the edge, see how far can they go before the ref figures out. Also smart players, like I think Terrion Arnold is as well. And when you get in those games, they know when to taper down. They know when not to, that extra tug or turn when the ball is coming so there's not a pass interference. So he's getting better and better, but it's trust.
This team gets off the field, too. Mm-hmm. When you think about defensively, how about this stat? 110 possessions for the other team. Only 14 of those 110 possessions have been 10 plays or more.
Wow.
That is insane.
Yeah.
14 of 110 possessions have resulted in drives that are 10 plays or more.
And you know Jack Fox is nailing those punts. When he does punt, they're inside their own 20 most of the time.
If they give them opportunity.
Field position. That goes back to just this team being, playing complementary football. Everybody does what they have to do in order to put themselves in the best position to win football games. And it's just such an incredible unit to watch, like literally one unit. I know 3 phases are one. They all work together.
Did you see the stats I put up there, Pete? Throw them up there. They're like first in almost every single category And we'll put this up here in just a second.
Hang on, bro. Sorry, I'm having a little issue here. Go ahead. Keep talking. Sorry, man.
I got a question
I've got
for
a
you
little
guys.
freeze going on.
Maz, you want me to ask you a question?
Yeah.
Ryan, +7 the Colts are against the Detroit Lions. Obviously, Colts won last week against a horrible team that I used to play for. Horrible, absolutely horrible team. But you're talking about a prime condition, Anthony Richardson, big quarterback, fast quarterback, Jonathan Taylor, great running back. Is there any worry about this game, or is there anything weird strike you about this game as you're kind of going over their head? Like, is there anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm answering for him. There's
Yeah,
nothing.
no, I mean, there's
Nothing.
There's just not, because I think the Lions always make it about themselves. They do, and you're looking at, a post from the 33rd team that put all of the categories. The Lions rank first in the NFL: points, point margin, yards per pass, drops, not drops, like lack
least
thereof.
amount of drops.
I mean, it just goes down the line.
Explosive plays.
How spectacular this team has been this year. And it stems from an attitude. And I can't, I know it's almost boring to talk about it like this, but it's who they are. They know that Indianapolis is a desperate team. They're 5-6. They're coming in. They believe they're still playing for a division. Maybe they're playing for a wild card. They're alive. Their quarterback is a lot better, this version of him, than the before the benching. And they're a good football team. But this is all about the Lions. And I think a lot of people on the outside would say, oh, trap game.
Yeah.
You got the Bears on Thanksgiving.
They don't exist anymore.
Not for this team.
Trap games don't mean anything to this team.
Yeah.
There's no trap game anymore.
Not for this team. I don't believe it does. So definitely interesting. Hey, guys, we've got Indianapolis Colts. The voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, coming up top of the hour. In the meantime, shall we do a little fill in the blank Friday?
Let's
Fill in the
do
blank
it.
Friday. You guys want to play along?
I'd love to.
All right, here we go. A little fill in the blank Friday questions, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Let me back you up a little bit.
Ooh, that
The
Texas
Lions have had an interception in 10 straight games to start the season. They will have blank INTs versus the Colts. Braylon?
Terry and Arnold will get his, as well as Brian Branch. I'm going with 2.
Ooh, Tom Mazaway.
I'm going to go with 3 and throw Kirby Joseph in there. Give me 3 against A-Rich.
Hurt me. KG?
I got 2, man. We keep calling for that Terrion one, and that's cool. Hopefully he does get it, but definitely got Big Curb getting one, and dare I say, Malcolm Rodriguez.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pete Spivak?
Throw me down for 2, my friend. You might as well stick with Kirby Joseph and give me Terrion Arnold also for a pick 6. Yes, I'm calling that one.
Pick 6.
That's
All right,
right.
I'm going to say 1. I'm going to say 1 interception.
Attaboy.
Maybe it's Jack Campbell. I don't know. The Lions' defense has not allowed more than 1 passing touchdown in a game this season. They will allow blank touchdown passes versus the Colts. Tom?
1. We're going to throw him 1. They're going to throw to that kid Downs. Downs, I think it's Josh Downs, if I'm not mistaken. Playing good ball for Indy. I think him and A-Rich hook up probably in the second quarter, beginning of the second quarter, and that'll be the end of it.
Braylon?
I think 2. I think this will be the first game that they give up 2. I think they'll give up 1 to maybe Downs, maybe Pierce. And I think the second one would be some type of quick pass to Jonathan Taylor where he gets the last 7 yards of the leg. So I'm saying 2.
Spivak?
Say 1. I think that the Lions corners are going to shut down everything that the Colts can throw, and they might get lucky one time, but I will say 1.
Numero uno. They might get one off to Alec Pierce, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't mess with history. I don't mess with trends. So I, too, am going to say 1.
Or none.
1 or none.
I mean, they held Jacksonville to 6 points last week.
That is
different team. But.
And the one thing, Anthony Richardson does like to sling it around a little bit. He likes to throw it up there. So I mean, he's not shy now. Yeah. He's not going to be shy.
They're going to be one-dimensional. They'll have no choice.
Absolutely. The Lions have scored 40 or more points in 4 of their 10 games this season. Detroit will score blank versus the Colts, looking for a more than or less than 40.
More than 40.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
Bray.
I see what I see. The Colts are a better team. The defense is a lot better than Jacksonville Jaguars, but This team is a team that's in rhythm. Even if he throws an interception or two, I think this team is on offense. They're definitely in rhythm. I'm going with 40. I mean, this has just become the norm. So I'm going more.
I'll say under, but not by much. I'm going to say they're in the 30s.
You're going to say less than.
Less than.
Okay.
Thank you. Less than. No cap.
KG.
No cap. Yeah, I got less than as well. 38 I got him at.
Yeah.
Give me the over. There, I say 42 points. You know, because
That's exactly where I was at.
Jake
42,
Bates
43.
is going to hit at least one field goal to put him over. What do you say there, Bray? You
40,
agree?
yeah, I agree 100%.
I appreciate it, my friend. Bray guy?
I'm just saying.
You know, they had 7 possessions last week.
That's 10 points a
and
quarter.
scored
Yeah.
7 touchdowns.
Right.
They can't possibly keep
But
that
they were
up.
indoors. Oh, they're indoors this week.
Doors again.
It is insane.
I was
think
told
what
they
they've
can't
been
keep
doing.
up this pace. I was told.
You've been hanging out with Neil too long.
Yes, I have.
Even the backups came in and led the team to a field goal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say more than. I just think the team is
That's great.
really, they don't care who you are. They're not going to run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Just they're not getting cheated. They don't get cheated.
So more or less.
More. More than.
We gotta start keeping these on Monday, man, because I feel like I'm always right, man. I don't
Write them down,
always
man.
feel like you're right.
Write your stuff down. I'll keep them.
You always feel like you're right.
Amon-Ra
I do write
St.
it
Brown.
No, I say you always feel like you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am right.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
If he's not right, he got cheated.
Right.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Sound about right.
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery have scored a touchdown in the same game 8 different times. All 3 players blank, looking for a will or will not score versus the Colts.
Yeah, Will. Why not? Why not? At this point, the only way they're not going to score is if they're not allowed in the game. That's it. If they're in the game, they're going to score.
Yeah,
sorry.
Is this great or what? Braylon?
We should do this game when we have the voice of the Colts on. I want him to answer some of these questions.
go.
That'll be
Oh
fun.
my God.
Good idea, Tom.
He ain't gonna want to do that.
Braylon?
Will not.
Will not.
They will not. I think Jahmyr, I think Amon-Ra scores this game. I think Jameson scores.
Guys, I'm going to say Will. I'm just going to stick with history, and just until it stops happening, I'm just going to stick with what works.
KG?
To be different, I will say will not. Let's substitute the sun guy with J-Mo.
But he'll score 2.
Yeah, you might be right. You're probably right.
I think Laporta's going to score too, to be honest.
Everybody's getting some
Everybody get a touchdown.
You know, I'm
It'll be like Oprah.
Listen, if you answered will not, and I'm going to answer will just because, I mean, if they're going to score 40 points, which one of these 3 is not going to score?
Right.
You know, if they're going to score 35 points, which one of these guys is not going to score?
Could be Tim Patrick. You never know.
So I guess my question is, Amon-Ra St. Brown has scored a touchdown in 8 straight games. Will he score a touchdown?
Dave Montgomery has not. He's been the one that's been iffy, and it's crazy because he has 10 touchdowns.
He got 2 last week,
Understood.
but under 100 yards.
And that's why I didn't have him on this week.
He's the guy on the opening drive. He's the opening drive. So you
sets the
score an
tone.
opening drive touchdown, it's Montgomery.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fact.
That's a fact.
He does start the games.
You know,
Do you like what they do?
Switching
I know
the
it
running
works.
back.
Yeah,
I do like
You,
what they
you don't
do.
like like last week, Jahmyr ran for remember that 60-yard run he made? He made a 60-yard run.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the next play, they ran him again off tackle, and he got like 2. I mean,
I didn't like that.
Don't you bring in
Yeah.
the fresher back off a 60-yard run?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I wouldn't have turned around and given him the ball after he ran full
They did.
speed for 60 yards.
then they gave
I
it to him
know.
again.
I know.
And he got some yards now.
It was positive,
Oh
right?
my
Still-
God.
I'm not going to complain.
No.
I'll take it.
You sounds like you're complaining
All
a
right.
little bit. I'm
Sounds
just
good.
saying.
Sounds like everything is perfect. There's nothing to talk about, so we're complaining about it.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like.
this stuff.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it kind of, heaven forbid, is. But if I had to rank my, for sure, 1, 2, and 3.
Dave Montgomery's number 1.
David Montgomery's number 1.
Gibbs.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 2, and then Gibbs is number 3.
It's the big 3.
I was just trying something different. I didn't want to be boring.
Right. Me too.
Everybody's going to score. There you go.
That's what I'm going with.
I said 5 last week.
Yeah. All right. The biggest game on the NFL schedule is
I got a good one.
Green Bay 49ers.
I got a good one.
You know what I'm picking.
What are you picking?
Is the Harbaugh Bowl this week?
Vikings and Bears. I love that game.
Yeah.
At Chicago, maybe a little snow, 2 NFC North teams, and then, of course, the Packers play the Niners at 4 o'clock, 4:30. So those are the only 2 games I care about besides ours.
The Harbaugh Bowl, but like that doesn't.
That's a Monday.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Green Bay and 49ers.
Green Bay. KG, you got one?
I'll say Eagles-Rams. Why not?
Eagles-Rams is a really
a good one.
interesting one.
That's a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's a really interesting game because I think the Eagles.
Don't give you away yet. We have to go over
Well,
those
I know.
games.
I'm just talking out loud.
All right.
The Rams really disappointed me the other night.
Yeah.
They really disappointed me the other night. But obviously, the Green Bay Packers could bury the San Francisco 49ers and leave them for dead this week.
That's true.
So I would say it's the Green Bay 49er game. Pete?
And leading off of that, I think the game of the week for me, Cardinals at Seahawks. You want to see who's going to take over the NFC. Actually, the Cardinals really have a chance to put a grip on the NFC West, and that would put them a game and a half in front of everybody who's kind of bunched together in that 5-5 territory. Cardinals have a huge chance this week to take control of the NFC West. That's my game.
I like that game a lot, and I like the Arizona Cardinals in that game.
There you go. I do too.
Up-down theory in the NFL. Seattle's riding high a little bit, and I like Arizona.
Where's the game at?
It is at Seattle.
Oh, it is?
It's at Seattle.
Oh, yeah, I got it on the sheet here.
Yeah, we got our picks.
All right, guys. Michigan. Getting Bryce Underwood is blank. Braylon Edwards.
Legendary. It's legendary. You talk about what this landscape is, what you have to do for a team that doesn't do this well, for a team that said this isn't a transactional institution, it's a transformational, knew nothing about the NIL. It seemed like LSU, who knows so much, and has like their stars on the sideline that they do during the game is ridiculous. LSU has a lot of stars. But anyway, to get Bryce Underwood in this climate at the last second, you said it's probably the number one we've gotten since Chris Webber. I'd say legendary.
Maz?
It's not going to fit in a sentence, but I'll say it's about time that they made a move like this.
Yeah.
Finally.
KG?
In my Donald Trump voice, I will say it's huge. It's huge. I mean, they've